Hello, everybody. I'm Skip Alzheimer. I'm back in Raleigh, and we watch old 16mm films on the AV Geeks lunchtime stream. And we do that in spite of YouTube throwing hurdles at us all the time. So today it just wasn't working right. So here we go. Let's learn about Turkey. Enjoy.
Middle East, romantic, colorful, but ever since the beginning of history, one of the Earth's most turbulent spots. But astride this uneasy crossroads of the ages, one nation stands firmly, determined to make its full contribution to a free and democratic world. That nation is Turkey. August 30th, Turkish Independence Day. A day all the people mark well on their calendars. A day of parades throughout the nation. A day when the whole country rededicates itself to self-respecting friendship with all other nations of the earth. In the heartland of Turkey stands its new, ever-expanding capital city, Ankara. A generation ago, only a dot on the map, a tiny crossroads on the caravan route to mid-Asia. Then, a man with a burning cause called a free parliament there. A revolution was won. That man was Kemal Atatürk, the father of the Republic. On a hill above the city stands the great mausoleum the people built in his memory. With reverence and gratitude, they visit the magnificent shrine to pay homage to the leader who gave them a new way of life. A long, tree-shaded walk is an avenue of meditation as you approach the tomb itself. Completed in 1953, this tremendous building honors not only the memory of Ataturk, but it stands as a symbol of Turkish progress through the ages. For centuries, the crossroads of the world by land and sea, today's Turkey is an equally important aerial intersection. Istanbul's international airport is an entering point for modern pilgrims of commerce and pleasure travel from all over the globe. Istanbul, city of many conquests and many names. Byzantium, Constantinople, Istanbul. Its Galata Bridge still spans the Golden Horn, where the galleys of the whole medieval world once rode at anchor. Today, where conquerors thundered and the city walls fell before their sieges, a proud people walk in peace. The corner policeman on Independence Avenue keeps traffic briskly on the move. Just like his uniformed brothers in Denver, Davenport, or Dubuque. Taksim Square, what Piccadilly Circus is to London, or Times Square to New York, with its own great Ataturk memorial. The ancient mosques of Istanbul, with their domes and minarets, masterpieces in marble of Turkish religious architecture. In their shadow, the sherbet vendor sells his wares to co-eds of Istanbul University, co-eds who look exactly like the ones at any university in the Western world. Istanbul, where East and West meet every day. Beyond the cities lie the unchanging plains and hills, where countless herds of long-haired goats graze and produce the only Ankara wool in the world. You may be wearing some now in your sweater or dress, only you call it Angora. Turkish wool, twisted into yarn and dyed with all the colors of the rainbow, goes into the weaving of Turkey. Which is more beautiful, the rugs or the weavers? It matters not. Beauty creates beauty, say the Turks. This 1,000-mile-long backbone of Turkish mountains produces more than wool. This is one of the world's richest areas in mineral deposits. Some of its mines, like this copper lode at Modden, have been producing steadily for more than 1,500 years. Chrome, oil. These are a few more of the mineral riches from Turkish earth. Turkish cement, manufactured from Turkish limestone, goes into the building of Turkish roads. And young men whose fathers rode on donkey back handle multi-horsepowered caps and graders with consummate ease and skill. Crisscrossing the landscape of the nation with a speedy network of new highways, tunnels, and dams. This is the Sarıyer Dam, typical of the huge construction projects that are beginning to harness every river in the country. 4 years in planning and building, it is already supplying water and hydroelectric power to a region as big as Nebraska. The water flows steadily into the good Turkish soil. Crops flourish and increase. Rice. Grapes that make raisins and wine. Cotton, now becoming a major crop. Sugar beets. These are only a few of them. Modern farming techniques are taught on model farms in every province. Here on the Golden Valley Farm near Konya, in the heart of the wheat belt, young Turks study the newest methods of mechanized farming so that they can turn the country into one of the world's biggest breadbaskets. Countless products of Turkey's mushrooming export trade pour into the holds of waiting merchant ships that carry the rich cargoes overseas. A short flight to the southwest from Istanbul lies Izmir, once known as Smyrna. Once a year, most of Turkey and much of the world comes here for the 30 days beginning August 20th for the annual International Fair, a magnetic attraction to farmers, businessmen, industrialists, and tourists. Flags of all nations decorate the entrance to the Midway with its permanent pavilions, parks, fountains, and pools. And everywhere you see tangible evidence of Turkish progress and change. Like this gaily painted farmer's cart. To the Turks themselves, it's only another picturesque antique. At Izmir, farmers talk of diesel fuel instead of oats these days. And symbolic, too, of Turkey, crossroads of the ages, are these dance teams from every corner of the nation. Their music and costumes sing of the ancient folkways, rich in color and cultural tradition. But their strong bodies, eager faces, and nimble feet dramatize in the dance the story of a new and vital nation, the Republic of Turkey.
Well, that was abrupt. Okay. Glaciers. 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 Enjoy.
My home state of Alaska is sometimes called a paradise of glaciers. Huge masses of solid ice. They've fascinated me ever since I was a small boy. I guess that's why I became a glacier scientist. In other words, a glaciologist. I make my living studying glaciers, how they form, how they move, and how they affect the land and the oceans. That's an important part of understanding our Earth. As a boy growing up in Alaska, the first glaciers I saw were the type called valley glaciers, one of two types. They're formed high up in the tallest mountains of the world. We have several valley glaciers in the mountains along the coast of Alaska. And valley glaciers are especially common in the Alps in Europe. This is where scientists first started to study glaciers, and that may be why this type is also called an alpine glacier. They're big, sometimes several hundred meters thick, a couple of kilometers wide, and several kilometers long. I've studied these rivers of ice in several parts of the world. They're also found in the high mountains of western Canada and the western United States, and in the Andes Mountains of South America. So you can visit an alpine glacier without traveling to Europe. For example, there's Deming Glacier on Mount Baker in Washington State. It's a typical alpine or valley glacier, a huge river of ice formed in the valley of a high mountain and moving slowly down through the valley. You may have guessed that glaciers can form in high mountains because of the very cold temperatures here. It starts when a heavy winter snowfall builds up on the peaks and on the mountainsides. Summer is short and cool, and not all of the snow can melt. Next winter, more snow covering what's left from the winter before and packing it down into ice. Some of the new snow melts in the summer, but each year more is left and packed down to become ice. Eventually, the layer of ice becomes so heavy that its own weight begins to push it down through the valley. The movement you're seeing here actually takes much longer in a real glacier. A glacier rarely moves more than 2 meters a day, and often only a few centimeters a day. As it moves over uneven ground, the ice may bend and crack. The cracks are called crevasses, and they may be more than 60 meters deep. They're interesting to explore, but dangerous. In warm weather, some of the ice on the glacier surface may melt and flow into a crevasse, forming a stream of water under the glacier. This meltwater can carve a cave in the ice. So a glacier is constantly changing as it moves slowly down a valley. But we know that a glacier will also cause some changes in the valley and the mountains themselves. Even where a valley glacier has melted away, we can tell where it's been. Sometimes a mountain is carved by several valley glaciers into a rugged peak called a horn. This is the Matterhorn in Switzerland, probably the most famous mountain of its kind. You've probably heard of the fjords of Norway. A fjord is formed when a glacier moves all the way to the ocean and carves a valley into the shallow seabed. I've seen fjords like this in several parts of the world. The glacier that carved this fjord in Norway melted away long ago, but in the northernmost part of Alaska, some valley glaciers still flow down to the sea. And huge pieces may break off to form icebergs. Of course, most of the world's icebergs come from Greenland, but we do have some off northern Alaska. Most of an iceberg, about 5/6, floats underwater, so icebergs are much larger than they look and dangerous to ships. The reason they float so low in the water is that glacial ice is much harder and heavier than ordinary ice. I remember the icemen I used to see when I was a boy in Alaska. They collected floating ice and sold it for use in homes and businesses. It was like regular ice, but better in one way. It melted much more slowly. But the largest icebergs don't come from valley glaciers. They come from a second and more extensive type of glacier called a polar ice cap. There's one covering nearly all the land surrounding the South Pole, the continent of Antarctica. And in the north, ice caps cover Greenland and parts of several smaller islands. In some places, the solid ice goes down more than 3 kilometers. Those rock formations are actually the tips of mountains in Greenland. A couple of years ago, I spent a few months near the South Pole at a scientific station in Antarctica. Quite an experience, but not exactly comfortable. I'm glad there are other ways to learn about the ice cap. Here in Alaska, for example, we've found evidence that the glacial ice once covered much more land than it does today. These stones were rounded and polished by the action of the polar ice sheet. In central Canada, more evidence. Rock surfaces left behind when the ice sheet passed through like a bulldozer, carrying away most of the topsoil. Further south, the deep, fertile soil of the Corn Belt developed from silt, deposited mainly by meandering rivers that formed as the ice sheet melted. And the gravel hills in New England are another kind of deposit left by the ice sheet. The hills are made up of pebbles and coarse soil called glacial drift. Another type of hill here, called a drumlin, formed when glacial drift piled up on a knob of rock or clay. When the glacier moved on, it rounded the hill into an almond shape. Lake Michigan and the other Great Lakes formed as glaciers gouged out river valleys and filled them with glacial meltwater. And smaller lakes formed in basins scooped out by the ice sheet. Putting together all the clues from several parts of North America, we can get a good idea of what must have happened. More than 2 million years ago, as the climate turned colder, several glaciers were formed. The glaciers grew and joined, spreading southward and covering about half of North America. Then, after many thousands of years, a warmer climate began to melt the ice cap. This pattern was repeated at least 4 times. The ice cap has slowly been shrinking over the last few thousand years. And the valley glaciers have been shrinking too. Sizing up the evidence, it looks like we're in a period between ice ages. But we have good reason to expect that the glaciers may start to grow again, and a new ice age might begin. Some think ice ages are triggered by unusually heavy snowfall over a period of time. Others say it has to do with periodic changes in the Earth's orbit. We're looking for more information to help us predict when a new ice age may begin and what effects it will have. That's one reason why knowing about glaciers is an important part of understanding our Earth.
It is unlikely I will see another ice age. I don't think I want to live that long, to be honest. I think it'll take a long time. Although I do like the cold. All right, so this is from Canada, and this is we scan these on behalf of a collector we're working with, and this is fascinating. It's a Royal Canadian Mounted Police training film, about arrests. And I just compare it to the films that I have that were made for American police officers. It's a very different vibe. Here we go. Enjoy.
A peace officer's duty, your duty, is to safeguard and to maintain the public peace. You have a limited extension of powers beyond that of the average citizen, and a serious obligation to know and to understand your authority and limitations. One of the strongest measures a peace officer may employ in the discharge of his duties is the power of arrest. When making an arrest, the peace officer must realize that he is depriving a fellow citizen of his freedom. The person is taken out of his home and separated from his family. It may be that he will lose his job, and in many instances will suffer loss of prestige in the community. His family also may be subjected to a certain amount of privation or at least embarrassment. So before making an arrest, consider carefully, does the nature of the offense warrant an arrest? Are the circumstances such that an arrest is necessary in order to stop the commission of the offense or to protect the public? If the person is a transient, it may be necessary to arrest in order to ensure his attendance in court. If a local citizen, perhaps a summons would suffice. In many cases, a justice of the peace or magistrate will issue a warrant for the arrest of a person in your community. It will be your duty to execute the warrant and bring the person before the court. In this case, the accused is a local farmer and the offense is relatively minor. Resistance is not anticipated, but then neither is the possibility ignored. Care must be taken on approaching all persons to be arrested, as some may react violently to a restraining of their liberty.
Mr. Thompson, I have a warrant for your arrest on the charge of common assault. Here's your copy of the warrant.
That damn thing's come up again.
The accused is given a copy of the warrant. This is required by law in a summary conviction offense, and though not required in indictable offenses, it is practiced by many investigators. The original is retained by yourself. The accused is also warned.
Whether or not you say anything. Anything you do say may be used as evidence at your trial. Now, do you understand that?
Yes, I'm not saying anything at this time. I'll have to see my lawyer about this.
A search should be made, even in minor cases, and, if possible, without unnecessary display.
Raise your hands. All right, that's fine.
No restraints, such as handcuffs, are needed, and force is not required to effect this arrest. Arrangements for the care of the farm are made, but no undue delays or stalls are permitted. At other times, you must arrest without a warrant, as in this case of a drunken driver. The actions of the violator are observed and a mental note made of them for use at a later date in court.
Laser, easy now. Easy up and feet. Just laying against the car, that'll be fine.
A search is made of the violator for any article which could become a weapon, and of the car for any further evidence.
You stand there for a moment, will you, please?
Where have you been today?
Home.
Home. Have you?
The man's car is looked after and, in usual practice, is stowed away for safekeeping. No force is necessary other than assistance to the police car. Unnecessary violence could cause resistance or sudden retaliations. Patience and persuasion can usually avoid a fight. If there is any doubt as to the reason for the man's condition, a request is made for a doctor to examine the prisoner to ensure there is no sickness or injury involved. Your authority for this arrest comes from Section 435, paragraph B of the Criminal Code, which states in effect that you may arrest anyone whom you find committing a criminal offense. It isn't always that easy. You may receive a request for arrest by wire, phone, or radio.
These men wanted for robbery with violence. Cochrane General Store. Warrant held at this point. Subjects believed heading north in a 1958 Pontiac sedan. Blue. Ontario license 19793. These men armed and dangerous. Approach with caution. Arrest and advise. Signed O.C. Calgary Subdivision.
If you know the sender and believe that the request is genuine, you may arrest without warrant under authority of Criminal Code Section 435, paragraph A, which states that you may arrest without warrant anyone who has committed an indictable offense. If the originator is unknown, the particulars should be confirmed or the warrant requested. No chances are taken in this situation. The suspects are not immediately approached.
All right, out of the car on the left-hand side. Hands on top of the car. Feet apart. Heads down.
Don't get between them and your cover. Search thoroughly.
What the hell do you want us for?
You're under arrest for armed robbery.
This is not a casual frisk. The whole body is covered meticulously. Flat objects, such as knives or razor blades, can be easily missed. The prisoners may be handcuffed together or separately. In handling prisoners such as these, the prevention of escape and the safety of the arresting officers is your first concern. However, this does not justify brutality or unnecessary force, but leaves no room for carelessness or inattention. There is no hard and fast rule for escorting by car. As in all police work, you must use your good judgment. Handcuffs may remain behind the back on short escorts, or may be moved to the front and passed under a restraining belt for longer trips. At the cell block, a strip search is made, as evidence or articles to aid in escape may be taped to the body. Another problem of arrest, which may not be as dangerous as armed thugs, but can be as difficult, is the arrest of a female. This occurs on some occasions before a matron can be obtained, and you can be placed at a disadvantage. Your use of force, restraints, and the powers of search are greatly reduced. 3 is company in this case. An immediate search of the person cannot be undertaken, and in some cases appears unnecessary. But a handbag should be searched and the prisoner handed over to a competent matron for search at the earliest opportunity. Sometimes an arrest can become very difficult when the person to be arrested is determined not to be taken and is mentally prepared to use any method to avoid arrest. The search for the person can often be long and tiring, and there is a danger of becoming careless as the hours or the days pass. Such an attitude could cost a life, yours. When the subject has been found, get assistance.
Portable number 3 to Carl 7. Jerry, get the Sarge up here quick.
No 2 situations are the same, but the rules are always there. Whatever your actions are, they must be without blame in the eyes of the courts, the public, your superiors, and your own conscience. A dangerous man run to ground is an unpleasant problem. An arrest is far from simple. He must be hemmed in to limit his movements and to block an escape.
Jerry, you bring the gas gun and the radio and follow me. Roger, you stay here.
You must try to persuade him to surrender.
Carson! Carson! This is the police. We have you surrounded. Throw that rifle down and come on out. You hear me?
I hear you! Let's get away from here! I'm not coming out! I've already killed one person! Don't make me kill any more!
There is always a delicate balance of choice between the safety of your men and the life of the subject. There is a temptation to use firearms, to end it here and now before one of your men gets hurt. It is a problem that each man must decide on his own when faced with reality. But firearms are the last resort. They can easily become judge, jury, and executioner. Use tear gas, if possible, to drive the man into the open.
See if you can put one in that window.
Then move fast and take him while he is blinded. In no other field of law enforcement does a peace officer stand so alone as in effecting an arrest. You and you alone are responsible for your actions. Police work is not the thrilling scene portrayed in fiction and on TV. When correctly done, with a full realization of your responsibilities, it couldn't be that simple. It isn't easy, but then nothing worthwhile ever is.
Man, now I want to hunt down more Royal Canadian Mounted Police training films. That one was awesome. Very much like how chill everything is, and then it's like, I've already killed a man. I'll kill another. All right. This film is The Game, and it is not my favorite film, The Game. This is another film that was made around the same time, the same title, but this one was made in the United States. Enjoy.
I spy Mickey Marai, snatch a victim from the sky. Fly to the east, fly to the west, catch the victim in his nest.
I play with you?
Can't you read? Are you blind? Don't you see you are not our kind? Think, think, now wipe the winkle, jump in the lake and sing, sing, sing. Think, think, now wipe the winkle, jump in the lake and sing, sing, sing.
Think, not waste no winkle, jump in the lake and sing, sing, sing.
You're not bad, you just smell bad.
Ooh, I'm gonna tell on you.
Yeah? Well, you can tell it, you can rail it, you can scoop it up and smell it. Then you can put it in a paper bag and go downtown and sell it.
Well, I died in this death.
Well, how she died?
Died like this.
Oh, died like this?
Well, I died in this death.
Well, how she died?
Oh, she died like this.
Oh, she died like this. And Dinah said, how she died? She died like this. Oh, she died like this. Well, Aunt Dinah said, well, how she died? Oh, she died like this.
Oh, she died like this.
Well, Aunt Dinah's dead.
Well, how she died?
Oh, she died like this.
Oh, she died like this. Aunt Dinah said, well, how she died? Oh, she died like this and like that and like this.
Oh, she died like this and like that and like this. Your foot on my foot. If you don't, I'll knock you down.
Yeah. Come on. Go ahead. Come on. Hurry up.
Come on.
Yeah. That's right. Put it up there. Put it there. My daddy's stronger than your daddy.
My daddy's smarter than your daddy.
Better than your daddy. My daddy. My daddy.
If you're white, you're all right. If you're yellow, you're mellow. If you're brown, stick around. But if you're black, stay back, stay back, stay back. If you're black, stay back.
And listen.
Stick a pin in the ground and listen.
Listen.
Listen. We ain't got no pin.
Yeah.
Stop. Hey, let's play house. You be her man. And he will be my man. My man. He'll be my man.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I'll be her husband and he'll be yours.
No, you be her man, and he'll be my man, because we might want to change.
Hey, 69 among the worms is called 11.
line.
She drinks tea.
Sea line.
And then go home.
Sea line.
Sea line woman.
Sea line.
Dressed in red.
Sea line.
Make a man.
Sea line.
And lose his head.
Sea line. Hey.
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
Sea line.
Purr like a cat.
Sea line.
Wink at a man.
Sea line.
And he winks back.
Sea line.
Empty his pocket.
Sea line.
Wreck his days.
Sea line.
Make him over.
Sea line.
Then she
Sea
no,
line.
she thinks she is so cute. Sure do. The little ugly thing. If she mess with me, I'll snatch that little piece of ribbon off her hair. Sure will. Huh. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
Sea line.
Purr like a cat.
Sea line.
Wink at a man.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
When you marry, marry for good. Make your husband chop your wood. Bring it in, lay it down. Count your children. The name of the game is money. Pay me and I'll be your honey.
You can't squeeze blood from a turnip, and you can't squeeze milk from a bone.
Last one in the field is an old rotten egg.
Whoa!
Sea lion woman! Dressed in red, make big, big smell, Daddy.
Oh, hey!
Raccoon up a simmon tree.
Yeah.
Toss them on the ground.
Yeah.
Raccoon shake the simmons down.
Yeah.
Toss them, pass them round.
Yeah.
Little fishies in a brook.
Yeah.
Really catch them with a hook.
Yeah.
Fry them in a pan.
Yes, Lord.
Dad eat them like a man.
Yes, Lord.
No, ain't I right?
Yeah.
Ain't I right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
brother.
I told you
Yeah,
so.
brother.
I'm right.
Yeah,
Now
brother.
down in Tennessee.
Yes, sir.
Since a drawboat
Yes,
back
brother.
east.
Yeah.
Drawboat walk.
Yeah, brother.
Drawboat talk.
Yeah.
Drawboat ate with knife and fork.
Yeah.
Ain't I right?
Yeah.
Ain't I right?
Yeah.
Ain't I right?
Yeah, you're right.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Catch a victim by the tongue.
If she hollers, let him go.
But what if he won't holler?
Stab him, squeeze him, squash him, bleed him. 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 Stab him. Whip, 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 whip.
Here we go.
Loop-de-loo. Here we go, 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 loop-de-loo. All on Saturday night. Here we go, loop-de-loo. Here we go, loop-de-loo. Here we go, loop-de-loo. All on Saturday night. Heights 5 and come on right.
Too late. The door is locked and you're too late.
Stink fake, not worth the wink.
Too late.
Heights 5 and come on right.
Too late. Too late.
The door is locked and you're too late. Too late. Too late. Too late. Too late. My house is burning. You can't get out. My brother's in it. You can't get out. He's just a baby. You can't get out. He's all alone. 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 You can't get out. He's just a baby. You can't get out. He's all alone. You can't get out. He's all alone. You can't get out. All alone. You can't get out. 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 You can't get out.
Wow. I had not seen that. It was intense, which kind of balances the Arrests film with from Canada. Yeah. And if I compare the game, this film with the Canadian film one is awesome and is cool. This one's awesome, I think, for a different reason, although it is incredibly ham-fisted. I think that the Canadian one is more chill. But anyways, thank you for watching today. I appreciate your eyeballs, and we're back for at least the next week live. I might have to take the cat to the vet on one day, so that might be I have to pre-record that show. It's amazing how much you know about my life, how much I'm sharing about my life with you, but there you go. And I just got a box of, holy cow, I'm sorry, 4 boxes of foreign language films. So we're going to sprinkle those in, and maybe we'll learn another language. This is not just entertainment, but it's also educational. Thanks for watching today. Thanks everybody for donating. Thank you, the person from Raleigh who lives near Neomon, which is a place we go to often. We'll be back again tomorrow, 1 o'clock.